Everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and a brand new side series we have for you guys, and I'm calling it STV 7. I'm taking a look at 7 of my favorite STV or Sega Titan video games based on the Saturn, and today we're starting off with an exclusive Maru-Chan de Goo or hot noodle soup. And you are correct, this is based on the Maru-Chan brand of noodles, and it's a minigame compilation, and even though it's kind of funny, it's an absolutely spectacular arcade minigame. Before we get too far involved though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, and that notification bell definitely helps us out. And if you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, we have a Patreon link down below as well. But obviously Noodle Sensei there is sick, and he has to send a kid out to make the noodles for him, and that is the entire basis of this game. It is wacky, it's absurd, it's strange, but the actual mini games are so much fun, and even though this game is a Japanese exclusive, you will 100% understand what it's asking of you every single time. In the first level, we just need to rotate the arcade stick as fast as we possibly can because we need to roll the noodle dough out so we can make those noodles. And you'll see here, so long as you're rotating correctly, you will get to the goal. If you mess up and move the stick in the wrong direction, you will have a pause. It's as simple as that in execution. But what this game is difficult in later levels, and it's always challenging you to do something new and unique. And it's just such a charming and weird game. I can't help but love it. I almost put this on unported playlist, but I really wanted to talk more about the STV arcade board, and this is why we're doing it here. Now on the second level, as opposed to rotating the stick as fast as you can, you just need to hammer on the A button or the first arcade button on your stick so that you can blow onto the fire underneath the ramen pot and heat it up so we can have some hot noodles. And there's never been a better reason to hammer on a button in a video game, in my opinion, than to make sure that we get some hot ramen. But all jokes aside, I just love this game. It's so unique and so weird, and it varies its gameplay up so much. Now all we're doing is playing a memory game. We have the bowl of ramen rotating in front of us, and it has 6 different ingredients, and all we need to do is go through and memorize what was in that bowl and pop it back in the ramen. We're just adding the ingredients on top, and if you get it correct within the time frame, you move on to the next area in the game. This is just a fun, quirky, weird game that I bet 9 out of 10 people watching this are going to have no idea that it even existed. This was a partnership between the Maru-Chan Noodle Company and Sega, and they just decided to go wild and make something new and unique and different that we'd never seen before, and wow does it work. I'm not sure what the story is, but I want to think that that old wizard just told the kid that he is not being paid for all this work he's doing and he's just upset. I know that's not the case, but in the absence of being able to read or speak Japanese, I kind of just have to make it up as I go along. But you'll see here we've now moved on to a new area. We're in the Noodle Stadium, and we just have to knock down 3 bowls of ramen. I could probably do that if I was really hungry, but I do not think I'd feel bad afterwards. I think I'd actually be able to handle it okay, but I don't think I'm really going to test that out. But all you do is tap the button, eat your ramen, and you are good to go. He's probably not going to have to eat until the next day. But a lot of the characters that come through are just absolutely hilarious as well. We have this dude with a pencil-thin mustache, and he comes down with a rocket ship to give you a little bit more story before we go on to the next area in the game. And that is just simply a memory game. You're going to see different types of lids very quickly, and then you're going to have to pick where they are. But the best part about this game, other than the fun puzzle action, other than the absurd nature of it, is the soundtrack. It's absolutely fun and unique. It was the intro theme song for this video. So go ahead and listen for like 45 seconds or so, and I'll come back and I'll tell you more why Maru-Chan de Goo is one of the weirdest but best games on the STV. Enjoy! You'll see that I don't immediately win every single match, and unfortunately I lost against the Soviet Union guy, and I will just leave a comment that I am recording this on March 1st, 2022, and there's a lot of things going on in the world right now that are very disappointing, so let's hope by the time that this video airs things are much better, and that is how quickly I record these and set them aside for later on. But outside of that complete zag, I just love this game. It's so funny, it's so weird, it doesn't make much sense. Yet it's just a game that you want to sit here and play over and over again, and it is a two-player game as well, so you can incorporate some friends into this, or if you're having a game night and you want to show somebody something completely new and unique and different, you could do a lot worse than Maru-Chan de Goo, and I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing that rightly. Pronunciation is not my strong suit. But now you'll see we've moved on again, and now we're in the dark back alley Noodle Town. I'm not sure what goes on in the dark back alley Noodle Town, but I could take some guesses, and these weird creepy children come out from this sewer. I don't know what's going on. Obviously I could probably translate it, but it's more fun just to imagine what the hell's actually happening. And now we're getting into the later stages in the game, and they are becoming more difficult. You have so many seconds to complete this string of inputs. It's kind of like a rhythm game, except all you need to do is go as fast as humanly possible, and you'll see that I am just clearing these stages with like 1 to 2 seconds left. And I will say this is on normal difficulty. If you go into the test menu and dial the game up to the hardest difficulty setting, you're going to have some of the quickest fingers in gaming, and please leave all jokes down below in the comment section. It both feeds the algorithm and makes me laugh when I leave an innuendo hanging like that. But the game will pivot up as well and do some other strange things. Right now all you need to do is keep track of the math of how much each noodle bowl costs in yen, and at the end it's going to ask you if it was more or less expensive. So there's both rapid inputs with the arcade stick as well as the button, there's memory games, and there's basic math that you have to pay attention to as well. And that's the great part about this game, is that the minute you feel like you've been hammering away on that sticker buttons a little bit too much, it's going to give you something slightly different to do, and it's going to introduce more and more weird characters that are just going to come out and do some of these strangest things. This game has a ton of personality, and it's also a lot of fun, because more often than not, the weirder the game is, the less good the gameplay seems, but in Maru-Chan de Goo, it's equal parts weird and entertaining. This is the type of game that you want to break out on game night with your friends, because like I said earlier, I'm sure none of them are going to have any idea what the hell it is, but they're going to laugh at it, they're going to enjoy it, because this is the type of game that you can pick up and play, kind of like a Wii Sports title. Everyone's going to understand what to do, and people can compete against each other, because you'll see I just barely won that race there, and I come crashing into this house with a hot bowl of ramen for these aliens, and I don't think that's something that happens on a regular basis, but it is quite entertaining all the same. But yeah, that is Maru-Chan de Goo. It's an exclusive for the ST-V Sega arcade board, which is basically just a Saturn with cartridges, but it's the game I wanted to start the series off with because it's the weirdest game on the platform in my opinion, but it's also one of my absolute favorites, and you do get a lot of story here. The kid's now got himself a ramen cart, and he's going to be moving on into the future, or at least that's what I think the text says. He's left the neighborhood with his cart to go on to bigger and better things. I could be making that up completely, but it's what's right to me. But leave me a question or comment down below if you ever played this game before, or do you plan on playing it after you've seen this video. Hit like and subscribe, and I'll be back next week with more STV videos. Bye bye.